Hello, how are you? Today I want to talk about um, consoles and texture compression. So, we have these textures here, okay? And they're small and, and okay, right? But they're a little bit big, like about a quarter of a megabyte for 8 textures. So, we can do better, a whole lot better. Mm, but PNG compression is not quite good enough because it is lossless. Okay, so we have to cross into lossy compression, something I know a little bit about, and I'm gonna talk about Kerr and what is Kerr, and well, that's basically, if I can show you, it's what Spectra shell is built upon, and this is just something I made to compile C code without an IDE, and well, it's just this thing, and it I ported some libraries to it so that I could just utilize it as a, I don't know, so I can build like any other project I'm working on and just have my libraries at hand. So I'd use this for that. And in here I had some code for texture compression for lossy texture compression. And I said, okay, let's fuse all of that, and I put it into the Blackmagic module, which is a port from DSM, but don't tell nobody. And that produced the Blackmagic DLL. And so what I did, I wrapped it in Python through C types, right? WinDLL, the whole thing, and wrote from that these two functions, text pack and text unpack. This is yet uncommitted, but because I had to hard code a bunch of things for testing. But let's just see what it's doing, okay? And so let's go to test here, and I'm just going to run the two functions back to back, and this should give us here. Here we have the normal map, the albedo, the curvature, and the ORM. So these are the compressed versions. Well, in the case of the normal map, you can really tell because I'm using a very low compression level. So actually, let me show you first utilizing the maximum level, which would mean more required memory. So yeah, and there you go. But I like it. I like the degraded normals. Actually, I like them a lot because it's very old. It gives this very old school feeling to it, and I will show you what that looks like in a second. But first, let's just go here, and the textures are unpacked here when you run text unpack. Uh, well, let's take a look at this. So this is 244 uh, size on disk, 224 kilobytes. And this here made that Josh, which is the compressed version, that's only 56 kilobytes on disk. So that's a very good compression ratio. That's actually a very good compression ratio. You can get even smaller uh, if you go with lower values, if even lower values here. You don't want to utilize a 1 because that means you're only using 1 byte per channel, and that doesn't look very good. But 2 or 3 upwards to 7 you can do. Uh, so okay, yeah. Um, I lost my train of thought. Am I recording? Yeah. Okay. So so this is why I use cur in the first place. Uh, Because I like to reroute logs and just do a lot of printing, and it's faster just leave the thing open and have it here than utilizing the Python one, right, and the Blender one, and having and trying to teach it to use colors. It's a little bit weird. So yeah, let's see what the textures look like. Um, okay, so if we go here, and here it's not actually using the right folder. There we go. So compression test, and you can see here all of the degradation that this aggressive compression scheme I have is doing. Right, you can see all these silly artifacts and all of that. Honestly, I find it quite charming. I love the look. I honestly love the look. So yeah, to me this is better. To me this is an improvement in quality rather than a degrade. If you see it here, you can see it's very smooth. Let's flood it. It's very smooth. If you utilize the compressed version, look at that. That's old school. Ain't that nice? And if we look here at the castle, uh, if we look at the castle here, sorry, you can see it. It's also kind of, you see there's a little bit of the color. You can see how it sort of degrades. It's just nice. So it's not such a huge difference here because of maybe if I, no, not here. Yeah. Okay, so now you can see it better. It's not such a big degrade, but the making the normals, making the normal maps such low quality, absolutely priceless. It basically means you have a completely different style of image. You still keep like you see here, these things, these very defined things, you keep them, but the difference is it's less defined, let's say. It's not so detailed, right? So that's what happens. So yeah, now the reason why I haven't committed all of this is because, well, I don't know what the distribution requirements for setlib are, because Blackmagic depends on setlib, and I don't really know. I'm not sure what the distribution caveats are here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to read up on that. And also, if you had any problems with Blackmagic, you would need to look into Cur, which it's undocumented. It's completely undocumented. No one but me knows how to work with this thing. It's not that difficult, but um, I haven't documented it, and so you would have to look at the source code in order to get an idea. So if anyone is willing to do that, you can. It's GPL'd. You can just look at it on my repo. Uh, but yeah, I don't really know what the distribution stuff should be. So all of the dependencies for cur, I don't know how I'm supposed to distribute that. I suppose I'll just make it a big old zip and put it somewhere, and then I'll have to get rid of all of these things that I've hard coded here. Lots of paths just hard coded, so that I wouldn't have to be like, making a UI like which textures do you want to compress and all of that stuff. But yeah, that's about it for today. Thank you very much for watching and all of that.